Why'd you share this with me, of all people?
I knew you wouldn't pity me. Cold, dead hearts have to stick together.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoons Delight. So let's get into it, you guys. So in the last video, I went over this situation where Lenox had basically saved Archer from this crazy patient that had came after he was threatening to come after people in the hospital. Archer tackled him down, but he was struggling with the guy, so Lenox ended up injecting him with a syringe, and it was as random. Like, he had actually stabbed Lenox too in the arm, and but it's the way she stabbed him though with the damn syringe, man. It was crazy, man. She looked like she was crazy, bro. Like, Lenox, like, the thing that I'm about to talk about in this clip is that these two are very complicated characters. Archer, the episode's mainly about Archer because he was dealing with the death of his ex-wife, so he kind of had like he was shitting on people all day. But you know, it was just a really good episode to show how complicated he is, and he was spiraling out of control in this episode. But Lenox, you know, ended up saving him, like I said. Now, Lenox took like a personal day off to be with this patient who was dying, and the patient actually died that day. So she kept reading her something, reading her a book or whatever out loud, and the patient ended up dying, and we got a chance to find out like why she did it and all that other stuff. So she was giving herself some stitches after she got stabbed by the guy in the arm. And Archer noticed that she was, you know, getting really frustrated with it, and he ended up just kind of helping her out and putting the stitches in, so, you know, for her and get it wrapped up or whatever. But it was crazy though. But we know how like just tough minded Lenox, you know, Caitlin is, you know what I mean? Like, we know how tough minded she is. And both of them had the military background, so they kind of was going off their, you know, their relation with the fact that they both were in the military, which I like. And I can't remember if like what branch Lenox came from, but I know Archer said he came from the Navy. And it was funny at one point because Archer had said something about, yeah, I read books, you know, because she was surprised he read books. For whatever reason, she was surprised he reads books or whatever. And he was saying, like, there's really nothing else to do on the Navy ship. So she was surprised by it. But like I said, I forgot what branch Lenox said she was from. I don't think she was from the Marine Corps or nothing like that. I forget. Maybe it'll come up one day and we can find out which branch it was. If y'all know in the comment section, let me know. Because I always forget what branch she came from. I don't know if it was the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, the National Guard. I don't know which branch she came from. But anyways, man. So we know that's why she got that tough exterior. And she's kind of like a soldier at all time. Like, you know, so she feels robotic. That's why these last couple of weeks with Lenox, it's been great to see her let her hair down. A lot of us is complimenting how beautiful of a woman she really is. And and I'm glad she kept her hair down in this episode. Now, she ain't had her makeup on like she had last week, but she still looked very stunning. You know what I mean? And shout out to my boy Hollywood Hicks, because we was talking about in the comment section like how good she looked. You know what I'm saying? And it's like she just sort of reserves herself back sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But she's a very complicated. I would like to see them do an episode like this with Lenox in the future, if they can, because like this episode actually made Archer even more endearing to the audience, you know, in my opinion. So anyways, they were going back and forth, and basically she started talking about her brain, and how I think like her mother died from the same disease or whatever, and she got like a 50-50 chance to live long term. And she said her and her brother made an oath to each other to not get tested. And I'm guessing they didn't want to get tested because they don't want to find out they got their mother's disease or whatever she had in her brain. And, Lenox is just like, she don't want to know if she could potentially die in the future, like the near future, whatever. But Archer was like, he was telling her, like, you're still young, though. And you're not probably at that age like your mother is when she started, dying or whatever. So I just liked how they interacted with each other in that scene. It was great. This is what made the episode so great. Like the way Archer was talking to Lenox and Hannah. We're going to talk about Hannah a little bit later. I just love the way he talked to both ladies, bro. That's what I said. Like, if they wasn't teasing this thing with him and Hannah, I wouldn't even mind him hooking up with Lenox, bro. Like, it's just something like, sometimes certain men, and this is why you see this in real life, a lot of men date younger women. And I think that he's one of those guys where he just relates better to the younger woman. And, I can't explain why that is, but he relates better to the younger woman. That is what it is, bro. He definitely relates better to the younger woman, man. I've picked up on that with Archer, and it just feels like that's where it is with him, man. But yeah, I like this scene, and it was, like I said, great chance to really explore Lenox some too. So awesome stuff, man. Great scene from Chicago Med, man. We're gonna talk about Hannah a little bit later. I think we're gonna talk about Frost real quick next. Frost and Maggie, because they had a little scene that was a little off. You know what I mean? We're going ahead and give you our thoughts, man. Give this video a like, share, subscribe, y'all. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank y'all for watching. After news, like.